that I usually have exclusively for my mentorship, but in this video, I'm gonna be breaking this shit down for y'all, really explaining y'all like why women always come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a few things when it comes down to it. I mean, there's other guys. There's the way, I connect with a woman or things that I do, the ways I talk to them. But I'm just gonna talk from my personal experiences throughout this whole thing that y'all gonna really pick up. Uh, First thing first that I want y'all to realize is that most guys, they're not real women. Like they're scared for a woman to know their real intentions. They're scared for a woman to know how they really think. They're scared to know how to let a woman know how they really feel. A lot of dudes, they be manipulative, they be lying, they be too thirsty. So of course, with all this shit going on, when she meet a motherfucker like me, and I'm gonna explain the kind of conversations that we have, it really make it impactful because they be like, damn, like I feel like I can say anything with you. I feel like I can tell you anything. I feel like I can do anything. They be like, damn, you used to have so much depth. You so deep. Like I just like talking to you. They want to, all you want to constantly have your time. They want to constantly have your attention. You know what I'm saying? They want to constantly learn from you. But this is the first thing that most guys always miss when they come down to talking to women. That I know I have. Like I always pick up on. Number one, dudes listen to women, but most of the time, y'all don't really listen. Y'all just hear the words that they saying. When I'm listening to a woman, I'm trying to understand every word that she's saying, trying to understand like how she think, how she move. I'm trying to really figure out what make her laugh, what make her smile. I'm throwing like that's all. That's why I always say have fun with being intentional. Like you gotta really understand the person that you're dealing with because she gonna tell you exactly what she missing. She gonna tell you exactly what she looking for, but she not gonna say it exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very simple. And when you understand what she missing, all you have to do is start giving her that. You know what I'm saying? Start giving it to her. Not like you ain't gotta give her no money. You ain't gotta, you know, you ain't gotta like spend a lot of time with her. You ain't gotta go on a whole lot of dates. What you gotta do is just like give her that space where she can really just feel free to, share and feel free to be herself. Because a lot of times, some women be feeling unappreciated. Some women don't feel seen. Some women don't feel like some women gotta feel like they need it. Some women they need kind words, like to feel good about themselves. Some women have confidence issues and some women they need a space to vent. When you really start picking up on that, key in on that. Because depending on like it's a telltale sign of something deeper. Like just what you gotta understand when you listening to a woman is that a lot of guys they be listening like because they want to just let it be like a position themselves like I'm a guy who gonna hear you out. Actually see them for who they are, and it's gonna hit them way different when you actually start asking questions. When you start, you know, sharing what you experience because your precision on what you were hitting in that woman is gonna hit different. But at the end of the day, it's all about how you experience things, how you handle things, so you can only talk from your own experience. For example, though, and a woman, she always feel, she's feeling like she's underappreciated. Like she feel like I'm by myself. I feel like nobody sees me. I feel like nobody understands me. So she feel like she's alone when it comes down to just her living her life. So when she meet me and she talked to me, she started, just start sharing everything. She started telling me everything. I started realizing and reading between the lines that, man, this woman is very insecure. She fine as fuck, though, but very insecure. This woman is always feeling like she had a competition. This woman is always like, she's she's scandalous. There's nothing wrong with her being scandalous, but it just show you that she is strategic. So there's a good chance that she might try to play power games. The whole thing is that you got to understand the good and the bad in this woman and see it from your own eyes. Like, what could be a problem, what could not be a problem. Is she an asset, is she a liability? And you start really understanding, the impact that you're going to have, whether or not you actually want this woman or whether or not you want her to just hit, whatever the case might be. Me personally, I don't just be trying to just hit. But some guys will. The whole point is like when you really key in on that, you start really unveiling who she really is because women don't really know who they really are. Like the moment you see that, it becomes easy from that moment, all you have to do is talk from yourself from that perspective. Now, this is the part that most guys don't really understand. Like, they don't share themselves. But this is the part that really gets her hooked onto you. You know what I'm saying? Like, emotionally. When you understand and you unveil her, she gonna feel, when you start talking to her and you start sharing your thing, you know, more you share with her, she gonna start feeling naked, but she gonna feel free at the same time. It's like a in between. Like, she gonna be scared and she gonna be like, you know, excited because she don't get this that often. I'm telling y'all be surprised. This is a lot of women. This be women who have family. There's women with friends. There's women who have like exciting lives. They got a lot of shit going on in their life. I'm telling y'all, they don't really be connected to who they really are. I know how crazy this sounds. But when you unveil who you are, and at the end of the day, this is all about the connection that you have with yourself. This is why I always say that. When you unveil who you are, she going to basically get so keyed in and try her hardest to understand where you're coming from that she's going to basically like miss. And she's not going to understand where she's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Some women, they're going to jump to conclusions. They're going to think that they know who you are. They're going to miss. They can make a lot of assumptions. They just not good at hearing. Some women are like that. Some women, they are very good at hearing. And they get very involved into you. But they don't want you to know that they are that into you. Some women, they don't listen. They just want to go back and forth with you all day. It's all about basically understanding a woman so you can pinpoint the conversation to the point where it's like it's easy for you to key in on. For example, with a woman that's, give me 1 second. For example, there's this one woman, right? She is very friendly. Like, she basically shared her entire life about like what's going on in her life. And she would tell me how she really see things. But the moment I started talking, she got very quiet. She would like pay attention to every single detail. I would notice that she paid attention to every single detail. And she tried her hardest to pay attention to every single detail. But as I got to talking, I started to realize that she would drift off. You know what I'm saying? So what I would do is because I see that she would drift off, I would have to engage her to get her into the conversation, because she's a talkative woman. If she's not talking, she's not in the conversation. You know, for her to listen, she has to talk. So with that being said, it's like I'm guiding her to seeing what's going on with me. A shy woman, quiet women that are reserved, they're going to just listen. They want to listen. You know what I'm saying? So they just want to sit back and they want to hear every word you got to say. They're the easiest to really get into their head. It's the easiest to get into their heads. Women that don't listen that bad, like, you got to really check her and correct her into listening to you. Now, the test is that all these women have subtle ways of trying to get at you. Now, aggressive women, they gonna do it non-stop. They gonna do it non-fucking stop. They gonna come at you again and again and again and again and again at the beginning. When they see that they can't do it, when they see you're not gonna go for it, they put their shield down more because they see what kind of man you are. They have to test you to see what kind of man you are before they put their shield down completely. Once they know that they can't fuck with, like, aggressive, some women, they know that they can't fuck with you, but at the same time they can be open with you, they become submissive as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and rewind. All this is going on and going into a woman's mind on my side, right? Now, let's say we do that on one date, and then I send her back off to the world. You know, send her back off to the world. Say we have a fucking 20-minute conversation. I send her back off to the world. When I send her back off to the world, I don't give a fuck if it's 2 days, 3 days, a week. When she runs into the rest of these guys, the guys who are thirsty, the guys who are friendly, the guys who are soft, the guys who are controlling, when she runs into these guys on an everyday, guys who are judgmental, those guys, what are they going to remind her of when she talking to them? They're going to remind her of me. So because I'm reminding them of me, they're going to always think about me, because Oh man, I remember I shared this with him and he ain't judged me. I remember I was talking to him and he made me go further. He made me think about it more. I remember he taught me something at this point. I remember he said this and it made me like feel so excited. I remember he said this about himself. This guy's not that interesting. This guy don't know himself that well. This guy don't make me laugh. This guy don't flirt with me. You know, she gonna basically look around and look at her options and basically say to herself, these motherfuckers don't know themselves. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck about knowing me. They just want to fuck me. When she get that in her mind, it's gonna make her continuously revisit you. You know what I'm saying? And off her revisiting you, what you gotta realize is she gonna start to basically be attracted to you mentally. So this is just for like a 20-minute conversation. Let's say you talk to her again, and you expound. You share who you are even more, and you flirt with her. That's why I say you really shouldn't rush anything, because it really shows. The patience shows what kind of man you really are. And this is something that you got. It's a conversation that I had to have with myself, like, because I used to sit right. I ain't gonna lie. I used to talk to women, and I used to engage, and I used to get a lot of them like that. I used to get women, but it's when I took a step back and I realized I'm rushing. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to rush. I don't need to force this. I don't need to pretend. I don't need to act a certain way. I just can move the way I move, and she's gonna be attracted to me. If I want to text her, she actually has my attention, then I'll text her. If I want to call her and she actually has my attention, I'll call her. But she has to get my attention. And this is where you got to start seeing your own value. That's why I started seeing my own value, because outside of that, thinking about pussy, thinking about fucking women, chilling with women, kicking it with women in general, what I been starting to realize was motherfucker attention is so valuable, because when I focus on boxing, I can whoop motherfuckers' ass now. When I focus on my speech, I articulate myself in a more effective, smooth, efficient way. So when I'm working, I'm talking to my mentor, I'm gaining game and I'm gaining knowledge to understand not only myself, but everything in my life and how everything works and how I can enforce myself on the world and make my world, my universe, what's going on in my life, work for me. I'm getting further. I'm gaining more confidence. I can get more understanding of other people. You know what I'm saying? I can make better videos. This woman that has a fraction of my attention, that fraction of my time in my life, has to value my attention because it's me. So what I started to realize is either she's gonna just like me that much, or she's not gonna like me at all. When you start really thinking like that and you start being okay with both sides, that's when you start really playing like. That's when I started playing like lethally. But a lot of guys never get there, and this is what she has to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she has to deal with. They don't have like that security in themselves. Most guys don't. So when she meets these guys, of course she gonna talk to them and look at them a certain kind of way, and she gonna be like, she gonna think about me. Of course she gonna triple text me. Of course she gonna call me twice. Of course she gonna, you know what I'm saying? Of course she gonna keep coming back. It don't matter how many days go by, because there's so lack of motherfuckers who are actually funny, who are actually assured themselves, motherfuckers who actually know how to talk to women, because there's so much of a lack of that. She's gonna always come to me. So that's just the philosophy. I'm low key just giving y'all a game in this video, but when it come down to the next step and you talking to her again, when you flirt with her, you know what I'm saying? Because when you actually get into her mind, see, I don't know, a lot of y'all guys, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of game with this. I ain't gonna go too deep into this. I'm gonna say, I gotta say this for my Patreon, but I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of game. Whenever I talk to a woman, I don't just say, you know, you're a good girl. I don't just say you pretty. I'm be honest with y'all. I stay away from complimenting women as much as possible, because what I realize is this: women have a tendency of scaling you or putting you on a scale of the way that they think you see them. They're gonna do it regardless. So when she really, is talking to you, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm be honest, this is more effective. What I'm telling y'all right now is more effective than flirting. It's way more effective than flirting. In my personal experience, it has been way more effective than flirting has ever been. Whenever a woman, instead of giving her compliments, instead of telling her she look good, instead of all that, that's riffraff to her. She hear that every day. Whenever she opens up and she starts telling her things about herself, and she started telling her how, and she started expressing herself, and she started telling her what's going on in her life, and start really sharing the way she view the world. Take notes, just listen to her. Understand that her opening herself up and her expressing that shit to you is the sexiest thing that she can ever do, because she's willing to show you who she is. Some women, they never do it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be 100. Some women, they never do it. Some women, they don't even know. Some women can't do it. Some women don't know themselves at all, so they literally can't do it. What I'm telling y'all is this. This is where you are supposed to implant you into her. When she opens up like this, you're supposed to implant yourself into her. And what I mean is, this is why I always tell y'all, you have to really tell a woman what she needs to hear, depending on who she is, in an effective way. But no matter what, don't ever make her feel less of herself. Don't ever judge her. Don't even laugh. Don't snicker. Don't do none of that when she start opening up. Don't do none of that. Let her complete. Just hold your frame. Hold yourself together, and just listen to it. When you listen to her, she start giving you that game. Start telling you what's going on and how she play the game. Give her a life lesson. Give her the key that she need in your life experience. You know what I'm saying? For example, because I know most of y'all think y'all know what I'm talking about already. For example, whenever you are talking to her, right? And she's telling her, let's say she says that, she's always stressed out because she don't know what's going to happen. She just got to always think ahead. She got to always, be like, all you got to do, the solution that I would say is, you got to be able to control what you can control and be okay with what happens if you can't control it, right? But I don't just say that. I give my experience of when I learned that, or an experience where that solution presented itself. So whenever I was in school, I couldn't get any transportation. I couldn't do anything online. I had a hard time, dealing with school because I didn't have the funds to really be efficient in school. But what I realized was, only thing I can do is show up every day. Only thing I can do is schedule my shit to assign it to me and position myself to get money and do things that I gotta do to support my life and to guarantee and go to school to guarantee my future. Everything else, as much as I don't like it, I can't control it. So it is what it is. What I realized was this. I got more peace out of that situation by just accepting things for what they were and just understanding what I could do. Off of that alone, she gonna learn a life lesson from you. But your precision on whether or not she listens to you is how good you are at talking and telling your story. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna keep it a bean. So what you gotta realize is this. This is all leaving an implant on her, because think about what I told y'all at the beginning. No one else gives a fuck. I'm telling y'all, no one else gives a fuck. Just by her being in your space, she's going to care. Now, that's all getting her emotionally tied. That's the reason why she comes back, fellas. See, most guys, they try to fuck her, And then they want the emotional shit, and then they want a relationship and all that kind of shit. They fuck up that, and this is where most guys fuck up. You gotta get her emotionally involved first, and then she has to trust you first, and then she'll get emotionally involved. See, some guys, they get friend zoned because she don't really trust you, because she don't really know you, really, for real. She don't know who you really are. She don't know that guy, so she friend zoned you. And if she trusts you, she will never friend zone you, bro. If she really knows who you are, she feel like she knows you, she feel like you're open as fuck, she will not friend zone you. She can't do it. She won't allow herself to do it. Because when you show who you are and you show what's going on inside your mind, this is what happens. She starts to get emotionally connected, and she begins to open up in ways that she can't go do with anybody else, because you are opening up in ways that she has never saw before. And the only thing she wants to do when she meets you is match your energy. I'm telling you, that's how she's going to move. She's going to match your energy, the way you talk, the way you move, how effective you are, how efficient you are, how smooth you are. She would try her hardest to match you in every single category possible. I promise you that. I can promise you that. So when this is going down, guys, when you start flirting with her and you start getting sexual with her and you start painting that scene, and she gets involved into the scene where she is experiencing the sex. She's experiencing what's going on. See, this is why I can't drop this on here. She's going to literally dream about having sex with you when you can talk about having sex with a woman. When you can just say what you like to do with your lips, your tongue, you know, the positions that you like, the things you will say in her ear. Whatever, how, you know, I don't know, y'all, mother, you know, you can talk her through it. Whatever the case might be, man. When you tell her these things and you talk to her in a way to let her know how you are going to fuck her and how you would fuck her or how you fuck, she's going to get so enticed and tied in that she's literally not going to understand why. When she thinks about you, she can't help but thinking about having sex with you. She can't help it. And the thing is this, y'all, when you hold out on fucking her while all this is going on in her mind, she literally does not think about other guys. It's to the point where it can be so bad to the point where let's say she has a boyfriend, right? It can be so bad that she has a boyfriend and she's dreaming calling your name in her sleep. It can be so bad that when she's having sex with him, the only reason why she's wet because she's thinking about you. It can be so bad that whenever a guy approaches her, if they don't say some shit like how you would say, they not good enough. I'm telling you that you will become her ideal guy. And I'm telling you, it don't have nothing to do with your money. It ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on in your life. It ain't got nothing to do with your job. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. It's all about the way she feels when she with you. And I'm telling you, the reason why it's so fucking effective is because no other guy is going to be doing it. Now, I'm telling y'all this, and y'all might be thinking, you know, I can do this, I can go out, but there's so much to being the guy who can do all of what I just said and make the decisions that I said that you gotta make, that y'all wouldn't believe. That's exactly why I make motherfuckers pay. That's exactly why I have a Patreon, cause it's so much. Like the way you think as a person versus the way I think as a person, it's so vastly different. But at the end of the day, the way you think will work for you. The way I think will work for me. That's the reason why I can go and do what I do, but I know what will work for me. See, a lot of you guys don't know what will work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all don't believe in expressing your emotions. A lot of guys don't believe in expressing their emotions at all. I know I know me expressing my thoughts. I know what will work for me. Like whatever I say and express my thoughts, whatever come to me, I just express it. It's gonna work for me because the way I think, I believe in the way I think. It's gonna work for me. my perspective, the way I see the world, it's very interesting to me. So whenever I share with a woman, of course she's gonna see it as interesting because I'm interested in the way I see the world. You know what I'm saying? I know what works for me. You don't know what works for you. That's why the results that you have, you know what I'm saying, it can spin in cycles and spin in circles. And you can always, repeat the same thing over and over again, not getting the result that you want, and you trying to figure out why. It's because you don't really believe in like what you're capable of, bro. And once you really start seeing it and start really spinballing and start rolling the way you wanted to roll, you're gonna start realizing one major thing. It's not even like little. It's major thing is that your worth is gonna grow. Like the way you put it like this. The reason why I have women who be sending me messages and they complaining because they can't get my time. They complaining because they can't get my, they just want to see me, They just want me.
Good. I'm not looking for anything serious.
You know what I'm saying?
And I say big, but I really mean that was kind of hot.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna get a lot of women that really just, they want to be around you. You know what I'm saying? They really want to just, they want to give you access to themselves because they want you so bad. Like,
this is so crazy because I was dreaming about you last night, and I ain't gonna lie, I found a vibrator that was, charged, and I started, playing with myself, thinking about you, and I was dreaming.
And people always wonder, like, why am I not getting this? Why am I not doing this? It's really because the way you value yourself. For example, you think you think you can't correct a woman because you think, oh, I'm gonna lose her. That means you have no value. You have no value. You're not worth anything. That's what that means. Oh, I'm gonna lose her. Oh, that means whenever you actually go out in the world, you don't believe you can get women. That's all you're saying. Whenever you with a woman, you like, oh my God, I would never be able to get this woman. I would never be able to have women. You basically this is what you're telling yourself. I can't get women. I need this woman. That's how you're telling yourself. When you realize that you have more power than you think you do, and another thing, when you understand why you have the power, like it gets crazy, all right? Because you start realizing that you can break rules that most people can't. You can say shit that most people can't. You can do things that most people can't. And women think to themselves like, oh, he think he this, he think he that. But they're going to let you do it, and they're going to listen to you. They're going to do what you say, and they're not going to understand, why the fuck do I really want to listen to this? Why can't I just send him this message? Why can't I just say this? They're going to stop themselves from saying certain shit because they want you so bad. Oh my God, you ain't talked to me 2-3 days. Like, what's going on? You ain't text me, you ain't call me, nothing. Like, call me. You know what I'm saying? If you want you want to talk to me, just call me. And if I got time, I'm gonna let you know I'm free to talk to you. But if I'm not, I'm not. And they're okay with that. Why? Because they don't want to lose you. And it's not about whether or not, you know what I'm saying, if you want to talk to a woman, you can. But it's more so understanding that you can do whatever the fuck you want because you're really the prize, bro. Like, you are the prize. They don't know this because most guys treat them like they the prize. They do whatever they say whatever they gotta say. They do whatever they gotta do to get that woman. Versus me, they say whatever they gotta say. They do what they have to do to get me. It's just this is This changes the game. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, listen, this changes the game. Like, this changes the game. Like, me personally, I've always got women. I've always, I always got women, but I've never gotten women to the point where it's like they're willing to fly me places. You know what I'm saying? They're willing to, do anything. They're willing to break their rules. And I can see like she really didn't want to do that, but she did it. That's a damn good girl. Like I'd be like, but I would tell them this, and they would be smiling their ass off because they know it's me. Anybody else, they can't do it, like, because they know, oh, he think he this, he think he that, he think he got this power over me. Me, it's not games. It's no games. It's no games. It's either is what it is or it ain't what it ain't. And when you move like that, you can't help but see yourself as like the bar, because there are guys who got money and they ain't doing what you doing. There are guys who got status. They ain't doing what you doing. Why? Because you doing what you want to do. Put like this. Most guys, they're not romantic. Because most guys, they don't want to seem a certain way to the woman. I'm romantic because it's what I want to do. Some guys, I'm only doing this for the pussy. I do it because I want to do it. But how am I going to want to do it if you're not acting a certain way? How am I want to do that? Am I about to do something I don't want to do? No. No. You have to move a certain way. You got to act a certain way. I got to see certain things for me to look at you and be like, I want to do that for my baby. I want to do that for her. And when they start to see it, and when they start to, witness that and really get engaged in that, you can say it all day, but when you show it, they don't want to go nowhere, bro. They really don't want to go nowhere. They really don't want to go nowhere. They'll tell themselves all day, I want him to commit to me. I'm better than this. No, I mean so much more than this. There's no way he thinking he can talk to me this way. And by the end of that night, when she in that bed, who she thinking about? You. Versus most guys, they thinking about her. I'm thinking about playing the game. I'm thinking about the game. I'm thinking about chess. I'm thinking about boxing. I'm thinking about how I make these videos better. I'm thinking about how to, I'm developing. I'm thinking about all kind of things. What I'm going to do for fun this weekend. Where I'm going to go this weekend. I'm thinking about everything but this bitch. Because I got the power. See, but most guys, they don't get that. They don't get to that level because most of y'all clicked on this video because of the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to really do this. Like, you can't just think about women. You got to think about your whole life. Like, who do you have to be to live the life that you want? Not, like, and that's, like, the biggest factor. Like, I always say this in all my videos, but it's so real that you have to understand what you want, the life that you want, because if you living for other people, I promise you it will never be enough. That's all I'm going to drop for y'all today, man. It's about a 30-minute video. I'm going to see y'all now. See y'all, man. Peace.